Hey everyone, how are you doing? It is Thursday today, so we are doing a part 2 of our Arctic animals, read aloud and working, okay? Very excited to get to this with you today. First I want to check in and make sure that you answered one of those questions that we talked about at the end of the video last time. I'm going to make myself a little smaller here, and I'm going to show you those questions. So there were 4 questions. How are orcas and snowy owls alike? How are they different? That was one that you could answer. Why do you think wolves hunt in packs? That was the second one. What is your favorite Arctic animal and why? Or you could tell me, is this book about something that is real or make-believe, fiction or nonfiction? How do you know? So I asked you to reply at the end of the video on the Teams page where I give you your assignment. So if you haven't done that, you can still do it, but you need to go back and do that because that's how I track your progress. And I wanted to show you what I wrote. I answered one of these questions. So I answered this question. What is your favorite Arctic animal and why? My favorite Arctic animal is a moose. I like the moose because they have very large antlers. I also saw a real one when I was about 10 years old. So that is my response to that. Okay? So now we are going to start reading our book. Sorry about the sirens in the background. I live next to a hospital that helps people, so there might be somebody that needs some help right now. I apologize for that. Hopefully you can still hear. So we're going to read our book one more time. So you need your book and you will need your worksheet today as well. So everybody should have their book. We're just going to read it once. Remember, you're going to be finger pointing along and reading with me, and then we're just going to answer a few questions together, okay? All right. Arctic Animals is our title, and our author, it is written by Sarah Goosen. All right, our keywords: antlers, hunt, Arctic, orcas, caribou, and packs. All right, the Arctic Circle is at the top, and that country is called, do you remember what that country is called? Right, it's Greenland. Okay, some animals live in cold places. Remember, you're finger pointing along and whisper reading or in your level 1 voice with me. The Arctic is one of the coldest places on Earth. Hares live in the Arctic. They turn white in the winter. What's another word for hare? Yes, it's a rabbit. Snowy owls live in the Arctic. They hunt in the day. And I asked you last week, is a snowy owl a predator or prey? Which one is he? Yes, he is a predator. He is the hunter, and the mouse is the prey. Oh, I like the foxes. Foxes live in the Arctic. They have thick fur. Looks like that fox is jumping in the snow, maybe to do some hunting as well. Wolves live in the Arctic. They hunt in packs. Okay, so this was one of the questions that you could answer. And does anybody have an idea? Why do wolves hunt in packs? What do you think? Why do wolves hunt in packs? Put on your thinker. I'll give you a second. Go ahead and think. Why do they hunt in packs? All right, what did you come up with? Why do you think wolves hunt in packs? Go ahead and say your answer to me. Great, thanks for sharing your answer. Yeah, wolves live in packs. Those were all great answers. And they hunt in packs because in the Arctic, there's not a lot of animals for them to hunt. So when they hunt in a pack or all together, it gives them more opportunities to find food. So they work together to find food. Caribou live in the Arctic. They are good swimmers. Oh, my favorite animal. My favorite Arctic animal. Moose live in the Arctic. They fight with their antlers. And remember, you're finger pointing along with me, and you're reading the words in a whisper or a level 1 voice. Harp seals live in the Arctic. They have white fur as pups. Pretty cute. Orcas live in the Arctic. They hunt many sea animals. And do you remember what an orca's favorite food is? Yes, salmon. Polar bears live in the Arctic. Moms stay with their cubs for years. Do you remember why they stay with their cubs? We talked about that in the last video. Yeah, because they help them grow. They help them learn how to hunt and survive in the cold climate. Okay. All right, so after we're done, on the back of your book are these connections, and you can write about those. You can choose 2 animals from the book, write about how they're the same or different, and you could do this with somebody in your house, a family member, a parent. Okay. But today we're going to move on to your worksheet. So what you need is the back page of your worksheet. It looks like this. The other side had the question that you answered on our last lesson. So today we're going to work on this side. So the first thing you're going to do is you need a pencil. So if you don't have a pencil or a writing tool right now, pause the video and go get a pencil or something that you can write with, okay? All right, so go ahead and do that. At the top, you're going to write your name. So I am going to write my name at the top. Mr. Erickson. And you'll write your name on yours. I'm writing with my mouse, so it's a little bit messy. But you do your best writing on your paper, okay? All right, so what we're going to do today is the instructions, and the instructions are kind of small. They're at the bottom right down here. I'm going to read this to you. Instructions. Have students underline the simple predicate in each sentence. Okay, I'm going to read that one more time. Instructions. Have students underline the simple predicate in each sentence. So a predicate is another word for a verb. A simple predicate is the action that somebody is doing. So if I said the sentence to you, Mr. Erickson is a fast runner. What is the action in that sentence? Mr. Erickson is a fast runner. The action is runner, running. Or running is the action. Okay, so let's look at our first sentence. So you should have your pencil and your worksheet in front of you. We'll read this together. Number 1, caribou live in the Arctic. Caribou live in the Arctic. What do you think the action is? Is caribou an action? Is it doing something? No. Arctic, is that an action? Is that doing something? No, an Arctic is a place. That's a place. A caribou is an animal. What about live? Caribou live. Yeah, caribou live is the action. They are doing something. They're living in the Arctic. So you're going to underline, or I used my highlighter tool so that you could see it. All right. The next sentence is number 2. They are good swimmers. I'll read that one more time. You can read along with me. They are good swimmers. All right. They, it's talking about caribou. Is that a predicate or a action? No, that's an animal. That's a thing. Good. Is good an action? Is good an action? Usually good. If you feel good, that's an emotion. Swimmers or swimming. What do you think? Is that an action? Is that doing something? I agree. So we are going to underline and highlight swimmers. All right, number 3. Moose live in the Arctic. Oh, I'm noticing something here. My caribou live in the Arctic. Moose live in the Arctic. So moose is the subject. It's a thing, an animal. Arctic is the place. And again, live is our predicate or the action. Number 4, they fight with their antlers. Who is they? Who is they talking about? Right, it's talking about the moose, so that's not an action, that's a subject. With their antlers. What are antlers? Is that a movement? Is that an action? No, that's a thing. Oh, but fight. If you fight, they're fighting with their antlers together. Are they doing something? Is that an action? It is. So fight is our predicate or our action word. All right, number 5. Harp seals live in the Arctic. We know that harp seals is the subject. That's what this sentence is about. We know the Arctic is a place. So we know that live is the simple predicate. Okay. They have white fur as pups. They have white fur as pups. This is a little bit of a tricky one. It's talking about harp seals, pups. So that's the subject. We know it's not they or pups. White fur, kind of similar to antlers. It's a thing. White fur is what they wear. In this case, the simple predicate is have. So that's a little bit of a tricky one, okay? That's a little tricky one, but it's they have. It's kind of like if you have a coat on you. That's a little bit of a simple predicate or an action. Okay, I'm going to let you do the last 2 on your own. I think that you can do those. Orcas live in the Arctic. They hunt many sea animals. So find the word that is the simple predicate or the action, all right? Okay, great lesson today, you guys. Remember, if you have not written your sentence to me in the reply, you need to choose one of these and write 2 sentences about one of those questions. And you need to finish this worksheet, the last 2 that we are working on together today. And remember, you can always reread your books to someone in your family or your house, or you can read it again on your own. All right, it was good to work with you. I will see you again next week. Okay, bye-bye.